Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Profit First Show. I am your host, Jay Askew. If you're new here, welcome. We're not in our normal setting. If you have been watching the episodes and the replays and the clips, then welcome back. I know we're in a different setting right now. I am celebrating Valentine's Day with my significant other, and yeah, we're in a hotel room. So, anyways, what we're gonna do tonight is I just got a text message. All right. Anyways, what we're going to do tonight is have the Profit First Show, and we're going to cover 4 topics, all pertaining to people's finances, mortgages, credit card debt, people literally regretting a lot of things, the cost of living, cutting back. It all goes down back to the money a lot of the time. So, anyways, if you do actually enjoy the content and you want to watch more, then subscribe and let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below as we go along. And like always, we have our ground rules. If I'm live, and if you see the chat and if you disagree or agree or just want to share your thoughts, then go ahead, put it in the chat and we'll discuss and have a conversation in between each segment. If you're watching the replay, leave a comment.
This is really embarrassing and I'm
kind of... All right. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. The first topic we're going to cover tonight is the credit card interest that people have, and they're sharing stories about how they got in credit card debt. I think this is something that can really be a learning lesson for a lot of people, no matter what your age is. All right, let's get into it, my people.
This is really embarrassing and I'm kind of exposing myself here, but I'm going to be sharing with you all the things that I wasted money on as I was actively growing my $13,000 of credit card debt. I am not in that spot anymore. I've cut my debt down to a little bit below $5,000. I'm also saving up at least $10,000 to bring my mom on an African safari when she retires. So I've really gotten a good handle on my finances and I've gotten a lot more intentional and frugal. Starting off strong, the first thing is I used to spend $100 every week on a house cleaner for my tiny little apartment for just my cat and I. And she wasn't even that good. And then when I tried to cancel, she wouldn't give me my keys back. But that's besides the point. I spent
Hold on. So holding your apartment captive is a whole nother problem. But let me be clear when I say this. I believe that is a good way to invest your money. The reason why I call it an investment is because it buys back your time. There's this book by a guy named Dan Martell, and the concept is buying back your time. Most people don't value their time more than they value their money. Here's a clear example. Time is money. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's really not. But we're going to get into that in just a sec. I want to continue on to see what else she bought in order for her to get into this credit card debt.
$400 a month for somebody to clean my apartment. I literally took this money out of my savings account every week to Venmo her.
Hold on. She said how much per month? How much?
Back. The first thing is I used to spend $100 every week on a house cleaner for my tiny little apartment for just my cat and I. And she wasn't even that good. And then when I tried to cancel, she wouldn't give me my keys back. But that's besides the point. I spent $400 a month for somebody to clean my apartment. I literally took this.
That's honestly not bad. I had mentorships that were minimum $400 a month or $500 a month or $2,000 a month. And yeah, they've helped me get into rooms that I never would have been in and learning things that I never would have learned if I were just hanging around average people. That $400 is just only $100 a week. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below, though.
Money out of my savings account every week to Venmo her. I'm not gonna lie though, the feeling of coming home every Thursday to a spotless house it was incredible. Number 2, I used to shop at Whole Foods. I don't know what made me think that Whole Food shopping was in my budget. I was so incredibly delusional. I had no good reason for it. I just wanted to shop there. And my grocery...
All right, what? You just wanted to shop at Whole Foods. Let me know, because I've never shopped at Whole Foods, I admit, but I believe most people shop there for the reason of being healthier. Now, I believe that we should use money to make healthy choices because that dictates your energy. It dictates your sleep quality. And if you aren't feeling your best because of your diet, then it's going to be that much more difficult for you to go on a day-to-day basis, no matter the cost of living. It's the cost of your energy at the same time. You know what I'm saying? What you put in your body is what you are, literally.
Bill would come out to like $300 each time, and that was just right on the credit card. I used to get my nails done every 2 weeks, which cost $100. I used to get these long, beautiful UV gel nails. I miss them so much. I love having my nails done, but that was an unnecessary expense. I used to get
So one thing, obviously, I'm not a female, but my woman, she gets press-ons to save money. That's just for my ladies out there. I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all already knew that, but I believe, you can still treat yourself out. It's just like if you know you're getting in debt over these things that aren't benefiting you financially, or by buying your time back, then hey, it's okay to go the cheaper route. I mean, what's the difference, right? I mean, there is a difference, but like, let me know what is the difference in the comment section down below.
Botox in my face, and I forget how many units I would get. I think either 100 or 1,000. I got a lot. Not gonna lie, I do miss having it, but I mean, it's just not in my budget. This one I stopped doing at some point, but I was doing this for a while. I used to get lip filler. Lip filler is so expensive. Lip filler alone was $850. All of those injectables, right on my credit card. Remember one day I walked out.
Bro, I don't understand why people just don't accept they look the way they look because genetics. Like, there's just some things that shouldn't be messed with. I'm not saying, oh, you can't do what you want with your body. I'm just saying, damn, there's a market out here to make a bag off of people who aren't satisfied with the way they look. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with changing the way you look and improving. I work out. I like to stay in shape. It makes me feel great. It gives me confidence. But lip filler, really? If your lips weren't big when you grew up from being a baby, why can't people just accept that? Like, there is a market for people who aren't satisfied with their own genetics. There's nothing wrong with enhancing, but I think that's way too much. It's way too much. And you got celebrities out here who do it, and sometimes average people don't even think about doing it until they see a celebrity do it.
Out of the injectable place, and I just spent $1,700 on injectable right on my credit card. That was the price of my rent. I paid for a $3,000 West Elm couch. Also, the couch is ginormous and takes up my entire...
Bro, a damn couch? Okay, when I heard how much credit card debt she was in, I'm thinking to myself, like, she's buying electronics or she's buying, bro, a couch? A couch, a $3,000 couch or $4,000, whatever. Oh my God. A couch, a chair with cushion.
living room, which is microscopically small. And I actually don't love it. But because I spent over $3,000 on it, it's not going anywhere. I booked a trip to Asia for a month. While on the height of my credit card debt, I just decided to go travel the world. And when I came back from that trip, I was hyperventilating over how much debt I was in. And that was kind of the tipping point that made me start this whole journey. I used to order out food all the time. And when I'm talking...
I wanted to know how much money she spent on the vacation, because we know a lot of people use their credit cards on vacation. Ain't nothing wrong if you pay it off within the 30 days, but like, why are we spending money that we're expecting to get, but you don't get yet? That's how people get caught up.
About ordering out food, I'm not talking a little bit here and there. I was ordering seafood boils weekly.
Yo, that's hilarious. We're about to go and get a seafood boil right now. Well, not right now, but after I do the show.
Seafood boils. Talking like anywhere from $60 to $80 seafood boils right on the credit card. I bought my dad concert tickets for not one, but two concerts for $1,000 each. Man's never been to a concert in his life. I don't know why I thought he needed to go to two, but it was a nice bonding experience.
Here's my thoughts on concerts. I used to want to go to them. Back in college, I was a huge Migos fan, and I was able to repair iPhones and save up some money, $250. Or you know what? It was a present from my parents. They gave me $250 for a Christmas present. And I decided to buy the Migos tickets to go to the concert, and that's when Cardi B and Offset broke up, and then they canceled it. So I've never been to a concert. Fast forward, as I mature and become more financially wise, a concert is a total ripoff. I don't care what nobody says. Yes, it's an experience, but at what cost? To me, if I'm going to be around someone who has a lot of wealth or money, status or influence, I want to learn from them more than listen to the same audio that I can listen to in my AirPods that I paid $200 for and I can listen to on repeat. And I'm already paying Apple Music like $10 to $15 a month, or Spotify $12 a month, in order to listen to the music ad free. Like, I'm already paying to listen to your music. Now I'm going to pay to see you on a stage and be around thousands of people who I don't know sing along the same song. I'm okay. I'll save my $1,000 and I'll invest it into a stock and it'll make me another 1,000. And then maybe I'll go to the concert, but I probably will reinvest it. It's a better way to use your money.
But that was $2,000 of debt right there. So obviously I had a problem. I had a big problem with spending money that I didn't have. As I was making this list, though, I was like, man, I was living good. I was living real good, but I was living in debt, and I was stressed out beyond belief. I wasn't even...
Yeah, and that's what debt does. It haunts you. Most people believe if they can afford the payment, they can afford the thing. That's what the middle class trap is. I say it a million times on this channel. I had realized at a younger age, not too long ago, because I'm only 27, I'm like, bro, how are people getting these things? They got payments. They're tying up your future money before you even get to choose where it's going to go. It's already in their hands, because if you don't pay it, it affects your credit score. If you don't pay it, they can take it away, repo it. Talking about mortgages, they can go ahead and kick you out the house. Yo, you don't own anything in this country. I hope you know that. And the quicker we realize that, the easier it'll be for you to realize where I put my money is more important than what I do with it just because I feel an emotion. It just is. It's the truth. And piggybacking off of one of the first points that we had mentioned, when she was explaining how she was paying $400 a month for a house cleaner and how she's saving that $400 now, most people do things like that, or have services, or have people cut their grass or whatever, and it does save them time. But the problem is they don't use that time that they bought back in order to create more income. And I'm not talking about you working overtime in order for somebody to clean your house and you're working overtime. No. You're still in the vehicle of trading your time for money. You gotta have assets. You have to have assets. You have to make more money, or you have to make money faster than you're spending it. And the only way to beat that is by using the same money principles these companies in America uses against you in order for you to be in debt. It means having your money work for you, or having your time work for you, even though you're not actively working. It's a system. You can either complain about it, or you can adapt and take advantage of it. But one thing I'm not going to do is complain. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below, and subscribe if you like the content, by the way.
My husband and I didn't make any progress paying off our $60,000 of credit card debt until we did this one thing. And it might not be what you expect. It's not another budgeting spreadsheet. It's not Dave Ramsey. It's not a finance course. It wasn't starting a new side hustle. It was something way simpler, but way harder. For years, I avoided everything to do with our finances. I couldn't open our bank account. I wouldn't look at our credit card statements. I didn't want to know the balances. And every time my husband and I talked about getting more serious about paying off our credit card debt, it would always end with, oh, we'll start when we're making more money, or when we're
Yo, I really like where she's going with this, because she's admitting that she purposely ignored it. Right. And a lot of us do this, right? Out of sight, out of mind. And one of the things that I've learned over the past couple of years, especially this book called Atomic Habits, and it was talking about how the small things that we do on a day-to-day basis, or even in single moments of the day, dictate how we turn out over time, right? Atomic habits, the little micro things you choose to do, and then it turns into a big problem or a big reward at the end. And most people don't see the little habits that keep them off track or keep them on track. But one of the things that I do to help me be more aware of my finances is I have little widgets on my phone that tell me my bank balance, right? So I don't need to open an app in order for me to know what's in my bank. right? For example, I'm not going to show you guys exactly what's in my account, but I'm going to show you guys. Um, I'll just take it for example, right? Let's say I'm looking at my batteries. I have AirPods, I have an AirPod case, I have an Apple Watch, and I have obviously this iPhone. For some reason, my AirPod battery percentage just went away, but I have a little widget right here, right? I have a little widget right here that shows me, you see little green circles? It shows me the battery percentage of every device that I have. And when my AirPods turn on, they give me the battery percentage of that too. And so as I'm going upon my day, I'm like, here's my home screen. Okay. Oh, I need to charge. I need to charge my Apple Watch because I won't be home tonight until later on. So I need to charge it so I don't run out. That same type of atomic habit can be used for your finances. When I look at my stocks and I see, oh, I made $45 today. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, that's good. Oh, dang, I lost $100 today. You know what I'm saying? But I'm aware without even forcing myself to look at it, because how uncomfortable have you ever, let me know in the comment section down below, have you ever been in a situation where you wake up in the morning and you're like, I don't really want to check my bank account because I know what's in there isn't what's going to make me smile. You know what I'm saying? So I think we've all been there, but we got to put these things in front of our face in order for us to be more aware of where we're at, because this is how people get caught up in debt as well.
At this point in life, or we just need this to calm down first, and then we can deal with the debt. But even after we started making more money and things calmed down, we weren't dealing with the debt. The thing that actually changed everything, we finally faced the numbers. Now, of course, we had some idea of how much debt we were actually in, but I couldn't tell you an exact number. I couldn't tell you what the balances were on any of our credit cards. So we went through every card, every balance, every minimum payment, every interest rate. And I'm not kidding, that one step flipped the switch for us. It was hard to look at that number, but once we knew what we were up against, we finally had a starting point. And since then, we've paid off probably about $30,000 so far of our
So
credit.
I don't even need to hear the amount. She's just talking about the progress she made just because they made themselves more aware of where they were at in debt and obviously with their balances with their credit cards. So at the end of the day, most people, you know, it's more comfortable. It's easier to ignore something that you know you're supposed to pay attention to rather than look at it. It's more painful, you know? And I get it, you know, because nobody taught us that. It's just something that us humans have. We run away from pain and run towards pleasure. But this is how most companies advertise as well to get you into debt. They talk about all the things that you don't have. They talk about the latest phone and the newest feature because you're running away from a pain that you have. And so you feel an emotion towards the thing you have and the thing you don't have, which makes you make an emotional impulse decision off of your finances. And at the end of the day, you keep on, you know, recycling yourself into this open loop. One of the things that I did in order for me to slow down on like all the electronics that I buy, because I'm a huge nerd at heart, is stop watching YouTube reviews off of tech. Like if a new piece of tech comes out, okay, great. But if I know like I'm still doing my job, which is creating YouTube videos with my iPhone, with this mic, with my MacBook, with this iPhone, I'm good to go. I don't need any other fancier gear. Sure, I can buy it, but like I'll look into it after I start having momentum and earning more income, because I'm not going to go into debt off of a company advertising to me that I could have something that I didn't even think I needed until I saw their advertisement. That's a bar right there. All right. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below, though.
I need everyone to know this about being in your early 20s. You will meet people that are going to Europe every summer, buying new cars, buying new outfits, going to Coachella. And if you are wondering, how can they afford to be living like this? Like, is something wrong with me that I'm not able to spend like that? Just know they aren't spending like that because they're working harder than you, because they're networking better than you, because they're better connected. They're probably not even generationally wealthy. They are just in massive amounts of credit card debt. How much someone spends and the life that they portray on social media is not necessarily reflective of how much money they are really making. Nothing is wrong with you if you're not able to spend like that. In fact, you are way better off in the long run because you are living within your means instead of going into crazy debt to portray.
So I like how she explained this, because I used to think like this as well. Dang, that's a nice car. That's a nice house. That's a nice watch. Those are nice clothes. How are they able to? Oh, so most people are in debt off of making decisions that they think they need? Got you. But then let's be honest here. You don't even have to have luxurious items and compare yourself to people in order for people to be in debt. How many people just buy groceries and credit cards with credit cards and then they end up getting in debt, not because they're buying luxurious items, but because they want to afford the payments, all right? And they're getting their necessities, but they know it's going to be less money out their pocket up front because they get to pay a monthly fee. And they're just getting ripped off in the end because the money's going to have to come out either way, you know? And then they're getting charged more just from borrowing the money. It doesn't make sense. So you got to be aware of that as well, you know? If you're going to use a credit card, the best thing to do is to pay that thing off before the interest kicks in. Bottom line, if you don't have the cash, don't spend it on a credit card.
I recently went viral for having $30,000 in credit card debt, and it even got picked up by Newsweek. There was an article featuring my credit card debt. And throughout the comments, a lot of people have been recommending different, financial gurus. And of course, people have been recommending Dave Ramsey. So here is why I do not subscribe to Dave Ramsey's snowball effect and his approach in general.
Just for the record, I am not biased towards Dave Ramsey or anything. I don't even watch his content, so I'm really interested off of what she's about to say.
So for starters, the entire premise of his plan hinges on having extra money to put towards. So you pay off everything. You pay your bills, you pay all your credit cards, you pay all your debts, and then any extra money you have, stop right there. Who the fuck has extra money? So then he's like, aha, yes, if you don't have extra money, get a second job, get a third job, eat rice and beans. That's actually something I joined a Dave Ramsey private Facebook group. People all the time reference rice and beans. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not willing to do anything to get out of debt. I'm not willing to eat rice and beans every day. I'm not willing to have 3 jobs and not spend time with my children. I'm not willing.
So what are you willing to do? Because something's got to give. And I don't believe eating rice and beans is going to solve the problem, because that's just a way of figure of speech. I believe that means stop eating out. It's a simple food, obviously, and it doesn't cost much to make it, but let's be real here. You're going to have to sacrifice something. You're either going to have to make more money, or you're either going to have to make more money, or you're either going to have to stop spending as much money or stop spending as much money. Lower your expenses, increase your income. Lower your expenses, increase your income. It's very simple. He's just giving, or it sounds like she has received ways and tactics of doing that, decreasing your living expenses and increasing your income. When people say, well, who has more money? We live in America, man. People who say that are lazy as hell.
To forego my favorite salad on a Friday when I feel like getting one. My bills and my debt is so tremendous that $20 here, $100 there is not making an impact.
This is the weak ass mindset that so many people have. I'm seeing if somebody's going to hit my car outside. Anyways, this is the weak ass mindset that many people have towards investing and paying off debt. They just have a bad relationship and mindset towards money. Oh, $20 isn't going to do much. Let me tell you something. I cut grass last summer in my parents' neighborhood. I was very humbled by it because I'm like, dang, I really don't want to do this. I'm the type of guy, I like to stay fresh. Unless I sweat during working out, I don't want to get grass all in my nostrils and stuff, allergies messing up and everything. I had a push mower. And I was pushing the lawnmower on 3 yards, front yard, backyard, front yard, backyard, front yard, backyard, weed eating and blowing. It wasn't sexy, but it earned me an extra $800 per month. Now, that made me $2,400 in 3 months. And I did it even longer, but I'm just talking about summer. And the mindset behind it is, the mindset that I had behind it was, I hate doing this, but I'm doing it for the greater good. And to be honest, if I put this money into an investment, into stocks, into a brokerage account, into a high yield savings account, no, it's not all the money that I believe I need in order to have financial security, but it's something, and something is better than nothing. What are we complaining about? Oh, $20. Are you not in debt because you said it was $20 just to get this salad or just go to Starbucks or just get this food? Oh, and you want to go and spend $20 again? Oh, you want to spend $20 again? Oh, this time you're going to spend $22 after you tip, right? What are we talking about here? The reason why so many people have debt is because they made decisions like that, but they refuse to make the opposite decision and have the same type of mindset. Come on, man.
The cost of living and low wages is to blame for the
When
financial.
people talk about low wages, give me a damn break. I'm so tired of hearing low wages, minimum wage. Do you know how much minimum wage is? Do you know minimum wage is the minimum and there's an infinite amount of money you can make? So if you're looking at the bottom, there's more opportunity looking up than it is down, because down is a floor, but up is nothing but the sky. And you haven't even attempted to make more money because you're so focused on what the bare minimum is, as if, one, you make the bare minimum and most people don't. And then two, like the bare minimum is something that you want the bar raised on. Oh, raise minimum wage. Okay, and it's still the minimum. What the hell are we talking about here?
Woes of most Americans. And being told that we can incrementally make these big differences if we just give up our quality of life for 5-10 years is absurd. I turned my $30,000 in credit card loans into a loan consolidation with an 8% interest rate. We're paying about $1,500 a month to pay that off. And it's painful because every month I'm like, wow, what could we have done with that $1,500? But I am not willing to eat rice and beans. I am not willing to have a night job. My mental health and my quality of life is more important to me than paying off that debt. And that doesn't make me...
Sure thing, but there's chapters in life for everything. And I believe so many people will agree with her. Honestly, let's look at the comment section because I didn't download these videos. Someone said, not a pro Dave Ramsey, but beans and rice is a metaphor for eating cheap meals to keep your grocery budget in check. Another person said $30,000 in credit card debt is an emergency. Another person said, all I heard was I want out of debt, but I am not willing to do what it takes because it is hard and I will have to sacrifice a little time and extras. And 1,000 people like that comment. Okay. I don't care if I'm a disagreeable person, if I'm not a likable person. I'm glad that I am that way because it means that I'm authentic. But I'm very surprised that people have these type of comments below her video, because sometimes when you have an entrepreneurial mindset and a business mindset, a profit first mindset, people just don't see their own excuses. I don't like blaming outside circumstances for anything because it gives up control. Oh, I don't want to give this up. I don't want to give that up. But you're giving up your money by paying interest off of money that you could have paid off, but you decided to borrow it and you're still giving up extra money because it's interest. You're giving up anyways, but you're losing more than you're winning. It doesn't make sense.
So, my husband and I are $60,000 in debt. Okay.
Part of the problem. You are.
Let me explain how we got here. In June of 2022, we had a good amount of savings and decided that our home that we've been living in for a couple years just needed some maintenance and some upgrade. You can see behind me, we live in like a very normal house, but there were some things like on the outside where our stucco was falling off, so we needed to have that repaired. We had our house painted, we upgraded our bathroom a little bit.
I just want to make a PSA real quick. Why do people believe that getting a house is an investment when they live in the house and it's not bringing them income in every single month? Most people believe that a house is an asset that it's going to grow their money because of the equity, but that takes years to build. And you better hope that the home or the housing market is good, okay? And it doesn't crash, all right? And on top of this, people have the audacity to talk about how renting is basically you losing financially because you never own anything. But when you own something like a home, people get renovations, they get the house painted. You get all of these add-ons as if you're buying it cash, bro. You're not winning if you're borrowing money, period. Period.
And also decided to pay off my husband's private student loan because the interest is not great. And so we had plenty of savings and we decided to just drain those bad boys. We both had really stable jobs. we would be able to squirrel away some money over time and build back up our savings again. 2 weeks later, unexpectedly, I was laid off from my job. And I'm the breadwinner of our household.
Okay, so she was laid off. I know that's tough. This is why you don't want to depend on, if you can afford the payments, you can afford the thing. Because now you've had your paychecks depend on your living expenses. And yeah, people are going to say, oh, well, how are you supposed to afford anything? Damn it, you just got to make sure that you're putting work in multiple vehicles. That's it. Surprise, you were lied to. Having one stream of income just to make payments and have interest isn't enough to live in America. You're making the wealthy more wealthier, and you're not using the same principles you have access to in order to make yourself wealthy. But people have the audacity and energy and time to complain about, oh, we need to stop the wealthy. We need to tax the rich. What? That's where you get your paychecks from.
So it did not go well. I was unemployed for about 7 months. Thank goodness I had social media to keep us afloat for a little bit, but here's the deal. We had to put a lot of stuff on credit card to be able to keep ourselves afloat.
So you're in mortgage debt, you got renovations to your home, and you're working yourself out of credit card debt, but because you couldn't find a job in 7 months, or you didn't get hired in 7 months, you went back into credit card debt.
So anything that could go on a credit card went on a credit card. And that allowed my husband's income to pay for our mortgage, our car payments, our daycare, things like that. But everything else went on a credit card. We cut back as much as we could, but there's still a lot of expenses. We finally decided.
So in this circumstance, you know, people can lose their jobs and you just never know, right? And that's why it's important for you to have multiple streams of income. Just like she said, she was making money on social media. Now, let me be clear. I wonder which bill was the most expensive. It's probably the mortgage and the car notes. Things that you can pay off in cash if you were to make wise financial decisions. Therefore, if something like this were to happen, you would have a place to stay and you would have a car to drive. You wouldn't have any payments. You got a roof over your head, you got transportation. Other than that, of course, the other ones are recurring. You got the electricity, you got the utilities, you got the food bills and stuff. Like, yeah, sure. But the most expenses were more than likely the mortgage and the car notes.
You do a debt consolidation loan, and it's about $65,000. And we're going to try and pay it off. We did a 5-year loan plan, but we're going to try and pay it off in the next 2 years if I can finally get that OnlyFans account going.
All right, I've heard enough. Don't do that.
Do you want to know what's more cringy than making little videos on the internet? Credit card debt. Well over 5 figures of credit card debt. My husband just got paid today, and that paycheck is gone. We have maybe $20 in our account because it had to go to bills and credit card debt. It's frustrating. It's embarrassing to admit because it's like
ding, 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 ding. She just explained what I've been talking about the whole time. When you have payments on something that you could have paid off in cash, you're tying up your future money with them, whoever you're paying. And you better hope it's not interest. And most people, they got to pay interest.
Like, we didn't spend it on fun things. Like, we don't have things to show for it. We did it to stay afloat. We did it for groceries. We did it for my son's therapies. We did it for doctor's appointments. And I shoulder the burden because I don't want to worry my husband more. He has so much more on his plate. He doesn't need to worry. I just need to make it happen.
I feel for them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're talking about necessities, doctor's appointments, therapy sessions and stuff. That stuff is pretty important, right? It's not like they're just getting a new jewelry or buying flat screen TVs or a $3,000 couch. But this is more motivation for me, and I hope it is for you, to let you know, like, yo, we live in a world, an economy where it's not enough for you to make one stream of income. You got to have multiple streams. You got to make sure when you are up, you are investing. And if you are down financially, that you're not making continuous financial decisions. You got to recalibrate. You got to look at the decisions you made and say, hey, how did I get in this position? What happened? How can I avoid being in this position again? Right? One of the things that I got a boost of motivation from to even go even more hard on this YouTube channel is my company that I was working for. All right. For those who don't know, excuse me, I work in IT, and the company I was working for got bought out, long story short, and that day was coming up. And I'm like, well, time to start looking for a new job. But I got to go crazy these next 3 months in order for me to have another stream of income during that period. And right now we are earning money on YouTube. All praise to the Most High. But I probably created over 200 long form pieces of content within those 3 months, which a lot of people won't do because they're average, respectfully. You know, I refuse to be average on things that I work on. And that's just what it is. People say it sucks. Oh, you never have time. My neighbor was literally telling me, he was like, bro, I see your bedroom light on, your office light on every night, every night, 11 p.m., 12 a.m., and I'm like, yeah, I'm working. He was like, bro, I'm just scared of the dedication it may take in order for me to have another income stream. Well, that's why there always will be a gap between those who have and have not. I'm creating assets, videos that pay me even when I step away from the camera, even though it took me time to create it. What are you building in your life that's going to pay you infinitely, whether you work on it actively or not?
And I know there's always people like, oh, go get a job. I take care of a disabled kid full time. Like, I can't just go get a job. What people want to work with my schedule? So I make silly little videos, and I hope that one day 18-cent commission turns into 1800 commission, because I see that so much. It feels like every other video I see, which could just be my algorithm. I don't know. It's more embarrassing for
So that's actually pretty interesting. For those who are wondering if she's talking about commission and whatnot, it sounds like she's an affiliate marketer, which just means that you create content and you support or market a certain product, and people who buy that product with your link, you get a certain percentage. In my experience, you make the most money when you sell a high ticket affiliate product, which is usually like a course or some type of digital product, like a course or a mentorship that teaches you a skill, right? Or teaches the person who buys it a skill. So yeah, we've made thousands doing affiliate marketing. We're actually going to have that be something that I'm probably going to teach later on as this YouTube channel grows. But right now, I'm not selling any products or anything like that. I just want to create content, build an audience, build loyalty, build consistency, build this show, and find my own voice right now. But anyways, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. Do you have credit card debt? Do you know somebody who's in insane credit card debt? How did they get out of it? How did they get in it? All right, so that's it for this segment. So we're going to go ahead and finish the rest of the show between tomorrow morning and tomorrow night because our reservations are getting really close to this dinner. I just want to make sure I go live today and create some content, and this clip will be uploaded tomorrow. Anyways, if you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm out. I appreciate you. Peace. All right, that was a great show. Man, I feel good. You know what I'm saying? Being in my own room, and I'm like, yeah, because like y'all know, like I live with family when I'm back at the normal office y'all see me in, but being in my own space, I just get to tap into my authenticity, if I pronounce that right. But bottom line is I definitely can hear my own thoughts because there's no outside noise. There's no dog barking. You know what I'm saying? I'm just in my own zone tapped in. So let me know if you guys like this session, if you like the show, if you like the replay. I'll definitely be reading the comments, even though there's a lot of comments. I appreciate all of your comments. All right. Anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm out. Peace.